say I did all this by myself with no help from anybody. Hi, welcome to Inventors Dojo. My name is Henry and I'm an inventor on a mission to make and sell my inventions. If today's your first time in this channel, welcome and I hope you enjoy the videos. Please subscribe so you can get updates on what is happening with my invention. Since the last time I posted a video, a lot of things have happened and they're not severe in one direction or the other. They are just inconvenient and they have gotten in the way of me making videos. But that is what happens when we engage in a long-term project or journey. In reality, we are going into battle against life because it will get in the way. The clutch in my car stopped working completely and I got into a whole debacle with DMV. My 3D printer decided to shit the bed. My baby has been sick. I injured my back and have been dealing with some personal issues. Just a bunch of things that are not unusual, they're not terminal, they're just inconvenient. And this is where a lot of people lose their way. They let the vicissitudes of life become defeats as opposed to setbacks, which is what they really are. Just setbacks that need to be overcome. But anyway, if you have not, I encourage you to watch the last video because in that video, I share a very critical problem that I had and you're bound to run into. In that video, I talked about how I started making these sockets and 3D printing them at home. At that point, I was churning out sockets left and right. And as I was making them, I was sending them to manufacturers, buyers, and possible investors because I just had to try. As I've said before, one big check would definitely remove a lot of the obstacles and expedite this whole process. As much as my ego would like to take credit for everything and say I did all this by myself with no help from anybody, my ego is not calling the shots here. And if the right opportunity arrives, I will jump on it. I am very clear about the fact that this is not a passion project. This project is a means to an end. And the faster I get it done, the faster I can move on to my next step. After I sent the samples to the manufacturers, including overseas, they all had about the same pricing. And I was looking at over $100 per socket, and the price would change depending on the quantity. One of them wanted $40 per socket if I ordered 10,000 pieces. Now, if you do the math, that would be $400,000. As much as I would like to fake it till I make it, I really don't know how to fake having almost $500,000. Not only that, let's say that I did have the money to invest. If every device has 2 sockets, that would mean that it would cost at least $80 to make, and there were more costs and parts involved. Ultimately, I would have to sell these things for about $300 each, and that would put my product in a different category. The crazy category. I mean, nobody pays $300 for something unless they absolutely have to or they absolutely want to, right? And my profit margin would still be minimal. Over time and with experience, I've learned to read the situation before I act. And this didn't mean that I couldn't make this thing. It just meant that I had to find a different way to make it. In reality, nothing is a defeat, unless that's how you view it. I chose to view it as an obstacle, a setback, something that needed to be addressed. But I'm not naive. This was a big one. I just needed to regain some perspective. To do this, I just went back to the beginning and I asked myself, what is it that I'm trying to make here? And the answer is pretty clear and pretty simple. I want to make the most efficient tool to get your car out of sand, snow, ice, or mud. I want my tool to be the easiest to use. That means that anyone can use it, or at least the widest range of people. But I also need it to be economic, or as economic as possible, with the highest profit margin possible so more people can buy it. That means that it has to be easy and cheap to make. The most important thing for me is that it has to be safe for untrained people to use. And it would be nice if it doesn't damage anything when you use it. Additionally, it has to be unique. Otherwise, how is it going to stand out from the competition? And let's remember that the competition already has brand recognition, they already have a market share, and chances are they have millions of dollars to play with. So with that in mind, I looked at what I had so far, which is the breaker bar and socket setup that I showed in a previous video. If you haven't seen that video, I will put a link in the description so you can watch it. The reality is that the breaker bar and socket setup that I had did not check off many of these boxes. It was not the easiest to install and it required new lug nuts, so that you had to be somewhat mechanically inclined. It certainly was not economic. And it was not the safest to use because if something went wrong, it would damage the car, the pavement, and if it was not installed properly, it could hurt somebody. The only thing it had going for it was that it is unique. So I had to go back to the drawing board and figure something else out. I knew that my concept worked, as you saw in the testing video, but it was in need of some serious redesign. So I just let it simmer for a little while, and during our conversation with my friend, it hit me. And I actually ran home so I could start working on this new design immediately. After a few hours of figuring and obsessive redesigning, I finally had it. It was done. Now it was just a matter of 3D printing it and seeing how it went. But more on that in the next video, where I will be showing you the new design and how it works. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please take the time to like it, share, and subscribe, because it really does help the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Stopping video. Oh, this is not recording. Ah, you mother. And this is gonna suck if I have to redo this whole